Hello, I am so excited to be filming this preview video for you to share this collection that will be premiering this Thursday night at our new retail store with our very first private estate sale, Destashed sale, happening this Thursday, July 2nd from 5 to 7. And I'll be sending out an email, of course, with the link for you to sign up. It is limited to 8 people. And it's 100% free. We ask that you put down a $10 deposit to hold your space, but then it is that $10 is credited or refunded to you that night towards your purchase. And this is a fabulous collection that you'll get to shop before anyone else. This customer has done Destashed with me before. We've sold a lot of her collection online before, so I already know it is top notch. It's really gorgeous. I'm so excited to share it with you. These are in the good colors, cool tone colors, blues and purples and pinks and aquas and blacks, silvers. You're gonna just love them. So let's quickly do our pearls and gemstones. There's about 150 strands of each, the pearls and the gemstones. And then there's a bunch of other little goodies I want to share as well. So just lots of yummy pearls. These are in like a teal. I'm going to try to move the light with us as we go so you can kind of see, but these are in a teal. The heavy nacre is so beautiful. Lots of gorgeous shapes, colors, sizes. There's some pretty tip drill stick pearls, and I love these really thick silver side drilled stick pearls. Pinks, peaches, all the whites, all the way to the silvery whites. And cashews for days. Lots of beautiful cashews. And just like our last collection, I have left the original price on all of these strands. They're from mostly, say, the mid-2000s to like the mid-2010s or so. And we've left the original prices, and then you are going to save an additional 20%, which is crazy. It's crazy because this qualities cannot be found, and then especially at these prices. So it's a great size collection, just perfect for a handful of people to come enjoy. So there's just gorgeous pearls here. I'm gonna, walk around the light for a second, sorry. And instead of having to come back, I'm bringing another light over. Very low tech here. But I want you to be able to see these beauties. This is a collection of sterling toggles that, an enamel. And I'm sorry, it's so dark, but by Gita Maria, and we used to carry a ton of Gita's pieces, right? She still probably does, but they used to make all the little charms, the enamel charms on sterling. And what I thought was kind of interesting, all these say like glass enamel on silver, and instead of specifying that it is sterling silver, because it was kind of a given in like 2004. Of course it's on sterling silver, duh. But nowadays that's not, of course, a given. But there's so many beautiful toggles here, and it's a gorgeous collection, and I loved carrying them, and I love carrying her charms. So fun. And these, I hate doing prices in these videos. They retail anywhere between $25 to $35 depending on size and stuff. So, which is, I don't know how much they would be today if you can find them on Etsy or something, but I'm sure they're a lot more. This sterling collection, and this is just one or a couple of each item. There are more of almost everything. So I just didn't want to dump everything out. I just wanted to show you different items. But there's a lot more of it, with the exception of like the bigger pendants and things, which we can start with right? Almost all this is Pacific Silverworks, right? So the sterling is made in Indonesia. Designs are done by Steve and Juana Jellin, and mostly Juana. And this labradorite. So it's a toggle pendant, right? So it's a toggle that goes in front with this stunning piece of labradorite as your pendant. So it's the focal in the front. There's one in labradorite. There's one with lapis and blue topaz. What? So beautiful. Just stunning. And then there's a big sterling labradorite double box clasp with the safety. And even with how dark it is, look at that labradorite. I mean, they're such great designers. The quality is second to none. But they're also, you know, they also just always did a fabulous job at picking up the best stones. And, you know, so the pieces will always be so gorgeous. You know, Juan is a professional jewelry designer, and so their little shop they used to have in Ventura carried, you know, Juana's finished jewelry. Anyway, I love these. I remember these little pods, right? Maybe I'll change hands and try to use, I don't know my, little pliers. Here they're at the shop, but I have tweezers. I'm not sure they're gonna work. All right, these little pods, right? And you could hang a pearl or a drop or whatever in them. They make gorgeous earrings. And then these like little, like lily pods too, are antiqued inside. That doesn't really work that well. Right, they're antiqued inside. There's a little hole at the top. How gorgeous are those? These little toggles. They're just, look how beautiful. They just have that kind of organic, you know, thing to them. And then there's a ton of these little connecting pieces, like these little bamboo kind of pieces. I think these are Nina designs. So there's pairs of those and textured ones and different textures. Just these beautiful little connector pieces. Look how pretty. Oh. And then these box clasps. What is so pretty? And I only have one hand, so I can't open them, but right, there's a safety on them. They're just gorgeous. And then there's a ton of bails, right? Really beautiful. Sorry, my hands, beautiful bails, right? And these little ones that they kind of unscrew to open. Focus. Look at her. Look at that beautiful bail. She's so pretty. And that's another, oops, I'm dropping things. That's another gorgeous bail. These little components are so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna have to set the phone down so that we can do some things. So bear with me. I'm gonna bend it down. Okay. Look at this magnet clasp, right? How beautiful is she? How beautiful is that? So well made. Look at that. That magnet clasp is stunning. Look at her. So beautiful. And these ear wires. I don't know if the tweezer really works as well, but how beautiful are those ear wires? Right, they're so gorgeous. And there's this little pair, the loop at the bottom. This is from Nina Designs. Look at how pretty that is with the little doves as just a pendant piece or a focal in the middle. What else haven't we shown? I don't know. But these box clasps are so nice. They're just so nice. You know, even if you found, or they used to carry just imports, ones that were also fantastic quality, but for sure Gem Shows had other like sterling box clasps at the time that were just not made as well. Every time you see one of these specialty clasps, doesn't mean it's the same quality. You can really tell the difference in the way the stone is set, in how smooth the tongue is, how long the tongue is, right? The longer it is, the better it's going to hold. And of course, the more sterling that's involved. And then that little latch, the safety on it, it's also a very expensive mechanism to make. All these little details make all the difference in your pieces. I'm so in love with this. It's so beautiful. Both of them are so pretty. Anyway, there's more of almost everything with the exception of the few pendants. There's more of the beads. These little bales, again, are so pretty. It's just a lovely way to dress up your, pendants things. Okay, I'll go on. Oh, and I love these kind of lobster clasps that have that smooth mechanism. That's so pretty, huh? Okay, I'm gonna maybe turn this around, see if that helps. So besides gemstones and pearls and things, there's a really lovely collection. There's some beautiful lamp work that I'm not going to show here, but there's also this lovely Roman glass. Right, so it's all quite old. Oh, sorry. Just look how beautiful these are. These colors are so pretty. I know, don't quit my day job, become a filmmaker. My dream. These strands are so gorgeous. I love how organic these look. And so there's holes in all these little pieces. These are all drilled for pendants. I love these little Russian blues. These are all different sizes. They're all meant to be round rings, but you can tell they're all handmade because they're all a little different. Look how beautiful these beads are. So I love the older beads like this, and they're just so special. Someone's hands made everything, but you know what I mean? Like this, it's just so special how old and how beautiful these things are. Okay, I'm gonna make us smaller again so we can keep looking at gemstones. So we're gonna walk around the table and look at some gorgeous stones. And I apologize if it's a little dark. I can only move one light with us as we go. Okay, so there's everything. I can't go through every single stone, but this is black tourmaline, bronzite, mookaite. This is tourmaline, right? A multicolored tourmaline. This topaz, so beautiful. This is a banded jasper, and jasper's not an expensive stone or a rare stone, but it is quite unusual to have it be cut in such an expensive way, to have it be faceted and polished to this extent. And you can tell this is hand done because, again, they're very consistent, but they are all each slightly different in shape and size. You can tell each one's been done by hand. It really makes it so lovely, right? So there's carnelian and some citrine. And these are, of course, all 16 inches. And then we have some half strands. Beautiful vasonite, lemon quartz. Look how gorgeous. Remember, if you watch the video I did with the green amethyst, its clarity, the lemon quartz was its buddy those years. Look at that clarity. Fantastic. Look at this topaz. Look at the clarity on that topaz. We had my original tag at $140. Crazy. This is ocean jasper. And not everything, mostly the pearls, but not all the gemstones are from me. So there's really some different ones that I'll point out as we go through them. But this gorgeous smoky topaz, look at her. So it's nice. There's a half a strand of that. That's beautiful turquoise, more turquoise. Okay, let's go down here a little bit. Where were we? We were doing some citrine and roselite, something like that. Rogalite. Oh, I'm going to say it wrong. Serpentine, of course, tons of green garnet. And, oh, now my mind is blanking. Shoot. There is some banded agate. That's not the name I'm thinking of. Bonzwada, sorry. Can't come to me. It'll come to me later, of course. This is loganite. It's quite pretty. It's more of a green. It's got green and black in there. And there's prehnite. And then look at this lovely cut of prehnite with the crystal quartz on the side. What's happening there? So pretty. And then look at all this labradorite. So much. So pretty. And while I love a facet, I'm insane about tumbled. So things that are not faceted. Because you can see the true beauty of it. Look how it's just cut with where all the color shows. It's a lovely collection of labradorite. We have black rutile, some blue sponge, coral, iolite, moonstone, lots of beautiful moonstone, rainbow moonstone. How gorgeous is she? And rose quartz, more moonstone, and pink opal, Terra aqua jasper, something like that. Very pretty colors. It's more turquoise, amazonite, larimar, and then aquamarine. Some beautiful colors of aquamarine. Fluorite, Cape amethyst, lots of other pretty amethyst. And look at this strand of lapis. I might have to keep that. I am in love with it. I know it probably looks dark. I know where you are, but it's really pretty. I just love it. I just love the statement thing. Next to it is something I never heard of, K2 agate or K2 jasper. It's kind of blue. Looks almost like a Dalmatian jasper, but with blue. Interesting. It's faceted quite nice, though. It's really is the facets and sparkles, and it's really cut quite nice. So it's interesting. Ooh, look at her. The druzy in her. It'd be a great bracelet. Especially because you could put, something in between each one. So lovely. There's some more labradorite up there and a little bit of rose quartz. And, a few little rubies. Hey, look at her. Oh, so pretty. What's happening down here? More agates. Crystal quartz. I loved these big crystal quartz. Oh, there's a big druzy chalcedony. These pieces are fantastic. I love these strands. I remember we had them before, right? Like I said, she's consigned with me before. And we had them before. This is so fantastic. So there's a few strands of those. This is blue kyanite and green kyanite, but whew, these are really pretty. And that's a lot of beads on there when it's a center drill coin. Blue kyanite and green kyanite, and then lots of pretty babies. So I'm gonna try to spread them maybe a little bit. And I know it's kind of dark, but let me see if I can move this down and do this a little bit. So there's some garnet, serpentine, red garnet, green garnet, serpentine, and then black spinel, right? If you didn't get in on the black spinel before, here's some iolite. There's a few strands of faceted azurite. Oof, right, which is basically lapis and malachite together. There's some Christicola, very pretty, little strand of emeralds in there. Then there is some tanzanite, and then some little baby tanzanite. Look how pretty she is. And some baby lapis, very pretty. And then this little baby faceted turquoise. That's very special. And I'll tell you why. She had each of these all the stones in bags and then labeled each one, which was fantastic. And anything she didn't know, she put a question mark on or like guessed. And I think she had marked howlite. It's not howlite, my love. It is turquoise. It is American turquoise that I bought in India. And it's very high quality. It's pure turquoise. It's real turquoise. There's no stabilizers. And it's a big deal. It was a big deal then because they were so excited in India, or so like impressed with themselves, that they had American turquoise. It still went to India to get cut and drilled and polished and strung. But the quality is fantastic. It's a very, very beautiful strand. And I hadn't seen it since, so that was very cool. Very exciting for me to see them. Okay. There are a bunch of cool focals, including more of that big blue chalcedony druzy. And I apologize for how dark this is. But there's also a ton of Botswana druzies. Cut, look how pretty. And they're all drilled with, like these ones have a hole for a pendant. This boulder opal. Look at that. All drilled, beautiful. There's more boulder opal there and her. Right, so pretty. The druzies are so pretty in there. And this more chalcedony with the druzy on the cut on the top. And that is green opal, which is very pretty. And, oh, I forget. It's like a rainforest jasper or something, but it's really a very nice cut, a nice polish job. And so is that picture jasper. So there's some beautiful, beautiful pendants available. Then I want to show some beautiful brass components and findings. And again, I apologize for how dark it is, but I'm so excited to share these. One of my favorite things about doing these collections is seeing things that I'd forgotten about. And most of these were not from my shop, but I remember having like these kind of little clasps, which are so cool, right? They're so cool. So the little ring just comes off there, right? It goes in and then hangs there. It's such a beautiful statement, and it's so well made. It's such a well made mechanism. I just love them. Right? That comes out of there and goes in and just stays hooked like that. Look how pretty she is. These are so lovely. So you just have to get it through there and then hooked. I just love them. And these are so well made too. These are not from me, but just look at how that's made in the back. It's the detailing, you know, it's all the details that are put in to make something such a nice quality. And so it would make a gorgeous focal clasp. I love having these extra loops on here that you could run connect your loops to there instead of in the leaf, so that the strands would run under them. You know what I mean? How fantastic. And there's more of all this. I just put out the one of each thing, or a pair of them per se. And so there's these beautiful caps. These caps are so pretty. And the little leaves on there. And that's so gorgeous. These little leaves, same thing, like with the bar underneath. So it looks like it has 3 holes, but you don't have to do 3 strands. It could just be, whatever, 2 or even 1, depending on how big the bead is. But where you attach it won't show at all. The design hides, your finishing. I just think it's really cool. There's these little swivel lobster claws in brass. These are very pretty, very well made. I remember having this. I remember having these in sterling. Right, that's so pretty. So pretty, pretty. And let me see if I can just trade the boards. And again, there's more of these. So there's these gorgeous brass stampings is really what they are. And some of them are castings. I can expand it. But just so pretty. And again, I know it's dark, so just never have enough light. The pieces are so pretty, and I just did a little pair of most of these components. Look at how I love the patina and all these leaves. So pretty. And look at the baby dragonflies and the little birds. And they even are cast, you know, to have a left and a right or whatever. So cool. And look at those. Look at these little butterflies. They have a loop underneath right there, right? So that the beads again can run in back of it, and it could stand, be so cute on a bracelet, or even as a drop on an earring. You can use the loop there, but you can also use the loop there so that it can, you know, sit flush. I love things that are really smart, you know. And there's all these just these beautiful little components and things. Look at these leaves. I'm just so in love. And there are more of all these. And they're very, very inexpensive. I'm not quoting a price, but, you know, like $1, you know, kind of thing. But don't quote me on that. I'm just saying they're very inexpensive. Okay. And then the last little thing I'm gonna show is just there's a nice collection of coated hematite and brass beads here. They're really quite pretty, and these are really well made, and it might as well be midnight for how dark this is showing. But sometimes this coated hematite is just not good quality and the coatings are coming off. But this is a really pretty purple and a bronze on here, and these are also very inexpensive, and they just like $8, and they make such great spacers. There's some in a shiny silver and a matte silver, and these little baby ones, like they're really, really great metal spacers. And this is all the, I told you there's more of all this. This is all the extra brass and more silver, and there's a few things vermeil. So lots of prettiness happening here. I feel like the sun has went down in the time that I filmed this. But that's your preview. I hope that you'll sign up and join us in a couple days for this special event. If you can't, that's okay. Pop in the shop then on Friday or Saturday, sometime over the weekend. We'll be open on the 4th because this will all be, of course, out and available for everyone to shop. So, thanks for joining me and watching this through. Sparkle brightly. Peace.